Let's
Actually, wait,
go.
I'll actually do it. Um, so this is the embed code.
Cool. So right now, what's happening right behind the scenes? We have a cracked founder. We have discovered him online, and his name is Dravia, and he's dropping Supermemory AI, just launched today on Product Hunt. And for those who don't know, Supermemory is a very special app that basically his goal is to keep track of everything that you do and kind of like help you be a second brain, like a digital second brain. And I think a lot of us have been wanting this for a long time. And now, with the advent of AI and all these technologies, we can actually do that. And we've scoured the internet and we've actually found Dravia. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Dhravya Shah. What's up, man? How's it going?
Yay!
Yo,
It's going
yo.
great. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
tell
we
us,
just
man.
launched our product on today. The traction has been amazing, and yeah, in
That's
general, pretty good. I actually deployed the fix right now, like just
Let's
now.
go.
Added the product and embed. It's deploying. It's like in the process.
Yeah, the cache can validate. So for those who don't know, Dravia, I've been following online for a little while, and like I basically have been seeing his videos like on like Twitter, and I've also been seeing it on X or not X, yeah, X FKA Twitter, Instagram, and it's like been posting cool videos about AI and building with AI, and a young cracked individual that I actually got to meet in person over in at Stanford. Actually, you were doing the tree hacks and stuff, so we got to kind of hang out a little bit more. And he likes to work on a lot of these different AI projects, which has been really fun. And within that, you've been kind of building all kinds of things and just trying different stuff out and kind of seeing what sticks. And I think the story that I do remember was that one time that you actually had this really crazy high Vercel bill, and then the founder of Vercel reached out and kind of got you to do this thing. So, your latest thing that you're doing right now, Super Memory, I kind of want to find out a little bit more about like what the app is a little bit more in detail, because there are people who haven't heard of this, and there are people who actually want this type of problem solved in their life. So yeah, would love to hear kind of a little bit more of what the app does, a little bit of the features and stuff, and kind of walk us through here.
Yep. So Supermemory is basically an app that makes your own second brain for all the stuff that you save on the internet. Now that stuff can be anything from the people you find to the notes you take to where did I keep my water bottle,
Hmm.
to like your schedule. You can do like you can put anything in here. You can it's like a bookmarking tool as well. You can import everything that you have saved before. You can chat with it through a Telegram bot, um, and
Wow.
it'll remember everything as you it'll remember everything as you save content. And then whenever you want to query it or find something, you have a beautiful page to see it, or you have a beautiful chat input box where you can just type whatever you want and it'll show up. That's the older
Wow.
version of the memories page. I should actually update that, but yeah, um, it is pretty cool.
That's awesome. And so right now you basically have launched this and made it available. And how much does it cost?
It cost me $5 a month to actually host it, which is crazy.
But for me, I could sign up for free right now.
Yeah, it is free and it is open source. And in fact, like whoever is watching right now, I highly recommend you guys to just go and if you're a programmer, you should like look into the code. There's some pretty cool things in there.
Oh, I see. So yes, if you're on GitHub, you can just look up Super Memory. You can find this here. I am not signed in right now on this specific account here, but basically, this is for people who are wondering, like, hey, I'm in the code. What exactly are you doing? Are you, storing my stuff in a special place? And you're like, no, it's open source. You can go check out the source code, so you could see how you're doing, and you could even deploy it onto your own servers if you wanted to. For
Yep.
example, if you didn't want, for whatever reason, somebody else to do it. But for right now, it looks like looking at the architecture is really interesting, kind of nerding out a little bit. It looks like you're using some Cloudflare stuff to do what your architecture is. Kind of walk me through this a little bit.
Yeah, so architecture wise, how it works is basically there's the reason that everything is on Cloudflare is because Cloudflare has these edge servers and there's no third party provider. So for example,
Mm.
Vercel, they don't own the hardware itself. It's like a provider for other companies who actually provide the hardware. But
Mm.
Cloudflare, because all these things are co-located in the same hardware wherever we
Mm.
choose it to be. So the D1, for example, is a
Mm-hmm.
serverless SQLite database that
Mm.
actually runs wherever the user, like wherever the closest region from the user, it'll query that. And
Wow.
so we have three big components in Supermemory. One is the Next.js app, which is a Cloudflare pages deployment. So if you guys didn't know, you can actually deploy like Next.js app, so basically any web framework to pages. There's a worker which like does all the compute for the AI stuff, and then
Wow.
there's the Chrome extension, and then soon there'll be a mobile app which we are working on.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, this is really cool and this is really good news because for me, I've just been kind of getting into web development and then Next.js kind of by because it's just been really easy and then Vercel as well because it's been really easy. But I have been really curious about doing databases and other things outside of that type of thing because, I hear about the stuff costing less and then also like DDoS attacks and various things that are very common for
Yeah,
people. And I think that's kind of what happened to you as well. Like at one point, when you get very
yeah.
popular, people are like, "Hey, I want to take this guy down," and then that's either a competitor or some other person who's just bored on the internet feels like they want to do that, and that's not fun. So yeah, tell me that story a little bit of how like you found Cloudflare and then what you're kind of doing right now.
Yeah, so I actually found Cloudflare very, very long ago, like 2.5 years ago. But I didn't really use any of their products except for the DNS management,
Mm,
and the caching. So um last December, I made this very small little quick tool called dump.place.
mm,
A very simple website where you can dump your thoughts, and that's literally it. It's like the simplest thing in the world that you could build.
mm-hmm,
And um, so when I launched that, someone, I don't know, there was no competitor to dump.place. It was like I was not making any revenue from it, but
mm-hmm.
someone decided to DDoS it. And it
Wow.
was good for me because at the time it was there were, like, winter break going on, and
Mm.
I had been making a lot of videos, so I used that as video content. And I
Ah, I
made a
see.
couple of videos about me building the product, me getting DDoS, and then me fixing the DDoS.
Mm,
um, so the me fixing the DDoS part was involving Cloudflare products. So I use
mm.
like rate limiting API, and there's this thing called so you can basically dynamic. There's called something called the rule set API. So you can dynamically change the rule set, which no one else provides. So I
Wow.
used all that to prevent myself from getting DDoSed. And Matthew Prince retweeted that tweet, the CEO of Cloudflare, and
Wow.
they sent me a bunch of Cloudflare merch like this one. This
Let's
is a
go.
1 T-shirt, and so all of that happened, but I was still like, I was just using the Cloudflare products now.
I
Then
see.
out of nowhere, I saw this tweet by one of the higher ups executives at Cloudflare. I liked it, and we got into a conversation because of that. And somehow, some way, I am now interning here, so which is pretty cool.
That's amazing. That's so cool, man. Holy moly. Like and so what's interesting now is that you can make the apps using their stuff and kind of tell them like, "Hey, can you make this better?" or like this
Yeah,
is a better maybe better experience and stuff. And I think that that's is really phenomenal. So for
yeah,
those who are just joining in, we're talking to Dhravya Shah, who's actually founded this app called Supermemory.ai, and it literally cracked founder, doing this from your bedroom in essence, while working now like just so in love with like Cloudflare and actually getting to like intern there, with doing this phenomenal experience to kind of work on this. And so with Supermemory, it's supposed to like be your second digital brain to keep things going on the internet or whatever you're doing on the internet, any notes you have, so forth. So I'm actually kind of going through the onboarding, and right now you actually, for those who are watching who want to kind of check it out and have been checking it out, definitely go support Dravia at Product Hunt. So supermemory.ai/ph, and then if you do
yes,
that, yeah, slash ph, it will basically take you to the Product Hunt link. And if I do save this here, so if you do /ph, we will go to the product hunt and definitely do an upvote here so that it shows up in the upvote. You're aiming for the #1 spot on product hunt, so that'd be kind of nice for those to support and kind of help us, help us help you, because
Yeah.
literally you're providing this service for free to all the users and stuff, and so this allows you to also directly import your Twitter bookmarks. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So if I download the Chrome extension, I can. So I don't know if anyone knows this, that if you ever use Twitter or X, uh, you bookmark everything because that's what you do. And then all of a sudden, like you're trying to search for that thing that you had in your mind, and like, what was that thing? And so Super Memory should allow me to basically do that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's see if I can add this to Chrome. Add extensions. Let's do it right now. We're just kind of doing a walkthrough. We're doing it live. Ask your
Let's
second
go.
brain. So I should be able, just because I added it now, should technically be able to
Yeah,
do I need to do it?
just go to x.com
Mm-hmm.
and click a button on the bottom right of your screen.
Edge.com.
X.com.
Oh, X. Okay. Oh, X.com. Okay.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go. So, oh, this thing. So this little super memory icon for those at the very bottom right, if I just hit that little brain thing, wow. Oh, the import all Twitter bookmarks,
Yeah.
this one? Okay, let's go. Here we go. It's probably going to have like thousands.
That's cool, yeah. So you're
Wow.
so it's showing like it's doing 0 to 100 because the counter is broken, and
Hmm.
extension updates take a while to release because you have to go through the store. But yeah, it'll work, which is cool.
So how long did it take you to get the extension approved?
It took a while to get here. So because
Wow.
X doesn't provide an API, which is interesting.
That's
So
interesting.
you have to do it like the other way around, which is
Okay.
what I did.
And then are there rate limits that eventually happen, or is it because I'm a
Uh,
verified account, so maybe I have more of a rate limit than someone else
Yeah,
who's
so
just
about the rate limits. So what we do is the X provides like so the internal API has
Mhm.
the batch number of tweets you want to fetch at the same time. So we just
Oh.
use a high amount of tweets fetched at the same time. So
Mm.
even if you have like 2,000 bookmarks, you're only making 10 API calls. So that's
Oh,
not a problem.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they're not like really too worried about it. This is cool. So then technically, if I go back to super memory, I
Yeah,
should be able
right
to
now
see that, right?
already it should be done. Yeah, just go to
Let's
your
see.
memories page.
Memories. Okay. Wow. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So
You have all of them here.
yeah, my webcam is kind of freaking out. It should be able to come back online real quickly. So let's see. Sometimes it does this. I'm going to reconnect my camera. So right now, as we're browsing this here, I'm going to reconnect my camera. Let's see, down here. Okay. So I'm able to see a whole bunch of goodies here. Webcam, please. Cool. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Great. So if I can ask it something. This is probably
Yep.
for, yeah, January 2024. That's amazing. Does it also
It's not.
self-categorize the,
Yes, it does.
whoa. So I can say like Next.js. So like if I go back home and I
Yeah.
type in like Next.js, it should be able to query basically my
Yeah.
bookmarks from Twitter.
There you go.
That's crazy. So the answer, this provides an overview of what Next.js is. So like as if I searched like Perplexity or something. And then these are my recent memories in here that I have about Next.js. Oh, wow. So then I should be able to then, okay, whoops. I think I clicked this one. I can click this tweet and it should take me to the tweet
Yeah.
that has the, like basically my memory.
It took it.
Oh.
It might have opened a new browser window.
Oh, okay. You're not, your account may not be,
Just a refresh. Yeah.
okay.
I'm not sure why
Got it.
that happened. Do you still have
Yes.
the thing running in the background somewhere?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's still
Yeah,
running over
just
here.
reload that
Yeah.
page. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's
This
all
one?
done. So the reason that happens is because there's an ongoing API request, and in middle of that you make one more. So
That's right.
that's why. So I should probably just be like, hey, don't use Twitter while that's happening.
Yeah. So if I just look up design, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So this would give me all the tweets I have about design, like this one.
yeah,
That's awesome, man. That's cool. You know, I'm gonna make a feature request for you because I just want like I like this memories UI a lot. Like how it loads.
yep.
Look how fast it loads as I scroll. And I'm
It's
this.
actually yeah,
Look at this. This is cracked.
it is super duper fast. Like if you use it
Wow.
very often, it's super duper fast.
So, like, for those who don't know, if you go to Twitter right now, if you scroll this timeline, it barely look how slow they are, and then look how fast this is. This is like real time. Like Twitter's trying to catch up. It's like I can't do it, and then it's like, oh wait, hold on. You know, it's like over here. It's like, yo, I got you, fam. just it's just text. Oh my gosh, this is great. Wow. Yeah. So what I want is like a very interactive version of this. Like in here.
Yeah, like a
So like I want to
canvas.
type things, yeah, and just kind of play around because I really like this layout a lot. It just
Yeah,
allows me to see things in a very a clear way, like to sort it by date or to sort it by like. And I also kind of want to do like if I'm typing up here, just to search, literally just only want to search like bookmarks, like or just
mm-hmm.
like yeah tweets
Right,
specifically, just to type in things in here. Wow,
right.
this is really cool. So I can add a
We'll have
memory if
that.
I wanted to, and it could be either URL or type of thing. So I could say like recipes, or like um, this could
You can
just
just add
or content.
Dravia.dev.
Oh, so I could do like
You
prompts or
can,
something. Okay.
yeah, you can just put anything, like content as in, for example, I am doing a live stream at 8 a.m. with my friends or something like
Mm.
that. Like, and then you can be like, hey, when is the live stream? Or anything like that. So
Oh wow.
that's what it is for.
Ah. Okay. So if I go home and I say, when am I doing a live stream? Answer. You're doing.
There you go.
That's all. Oh, and then it actually pulls up different things about like
So
here's
that's
a
actually
note.
one of the most important things because you want to be able to connect information, even though it's like loosely related, to find
Mm.
like stuff back. So that's why they pop up.
Mm. Wow. Can you like I feel like I remember when I was playing with the Humane AI pen, I had a lot of problems when I would just ask it for things and it would really like I'd have a grocery list and do whatever things and like just to be able to do something like this would have been amazing, just when I asked it. I no longer
Yeah,
have it anymore. I returned it because I had so many problems with the connectivity where my region was. But, this kind of, it's so cool that you're able to like incorporate, like basically notes. Like my regular notes in Apple Notes is just a horrible mess. Like I have a lot of stuff in there. The search works okay. But I want to
yeah.
be able to give it like links and do this stuff. You said you're gonna have an iOS app coming soon as well.
Yes, soon as in like very, very extremely soon. Because we already have the code done.
Oh my
It's not on my
gosh.
phone right now, but it's in my friend's phone. He's like another intern at Cloudflare. We quickly made the app working. Um,
Epic.
the only thing that's stopping us is like the Apple App Store review process. That'll probably take a while. So yeah.
Wow. Oh, so like literally the code is like you hit the button to build and ship and it's already in process slash being reviewed.
No, no, no. It's not being reviewed, but
Oh.
it's like 90% like there. Only we are just adding it to the share screen of iOS apps, and we are adding it to Siri shortcuts. So that's the only two things left.
Oh, that's cool. So people can try this out right now just by going to supermemory.ai. And so this is free. This literally is free. You can just go and sign up with your account and it's free and you'll just, do whatever. And if you want to host it yourself, like you can go ahead and do that. It won't cost you
Yeah,
much. You can use all the Cloudflare infrastructure, which is pretty awesome, and keep building your memories. I think for me, the most incredible thing is just being able to browse all your Twitter bookmarks in one place. Like
Yeah.
dang. So I could ask it stuff about the stock market, like what happened in the stock market recently via my tweet. Let's see if I could do that. Yeah, because there's a couple people I follow on like for the stock market stuff, and this guy always like drops some crazy knowledge and stuff. USD dynamics, USD and market dynamics. Yeah, and so oil prices and commodities. Another tweet discussed how rising oil prices could lead to a decrease in the VIX and a weakening of the dollar. This is amazing. Yeah, and like that's not something that you would know. You won't. This is only because it's pulled in from my context from my tweets, and
Exactly.
so like that's what's amazing about this thing. So this is not like searching. I mean, that's so amazing. So as you go through the internet and you make little bookmarks on X, or even just add things in here like URLs and stuff that you see, it adds context. And then as you want to ask things or learn about things, you can do just ask it the questions like, hey, what was that thing? I want to explain it to my friend. Or like there was a tweet about the US dollar I wanted to talk about, or like the recent thing in the stock market. And I just have a loss of words and it pulls up the tweet. Dang, this is so cool. Yeah, this is what I was looking at. Like, that's amazing.
And
Wow.
that's like a tweet that very few people have seen, which is also very interesting.
Yes,
Like you're the only one who has bookmarked that.
Yeah, like I'm the only like literally one bookmark. Because I'm studying like these relationships and the finance, and like there's a really interesting currency war that's going on. When like that is really just trying to affect the price of oil. So as oil is going higher, like there's countries who have stuff that's denominated in U.S. dollars, and so
Yeah.
there's like this interesting relationships financially that are going on that are only showing up on the stock market charts that are in the currency areas. So
Yeah.
I'm like specifically learning about this, and this type of tool for me, like just to quickly jog my memory back is not only did it give me like a summary, a little bit of kind of what it read from the tweets and what it thinks I'm asking, but also provided the context in the related memories below.
Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing. Like, yeah, like there's three people who bookmarked this one about the higher oil pushes, the more the central banks will crush the VIX and weaken the dollar. And it's like, this is oh my God, this is so crazy, dude. This is so cool. Wow. Yeah, no, this is extremely technical stuff. And I don't, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of blown, not kind of, I'm blown away. And if you are, I definitely would recommend that folks try it and go support Dravia on Product Hunt.
Oh
So
yes,
on,
if you're coming just now, there's 80 people watching on my Twitter live stream and about 47, 50 people here. So
Mhm.
if you guys just go and upvote it right now, we'll be number one like right away. So please do.
Really? Let's go. Product Hunt, producthunt.com. You'll see, it's actually listed right here. Let's go. Let's go, my
Yeah.
friends. Let's go. It's 162. You're like not even that far away. Reactor Chat AI. So to just, sign in to Product Hunt or create an account, sign in with Google or something. And definitely go upvote it because you're almost there. And Reactor Chat AI. Yeah, this is the time to do it. This is a really, let me refresh. I think it updates in real time if I understand, right? Yeah, 162. Dang, this is awesome. A second brain for all of your AI stuff. So you're seeing it here now, folks. Just with us playing around with it. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
It's open
Um,
source.
yeah, it's open source, so you can actually go and deploy the thing yourself on GitHub. And also, like if you've ever wanted to make a Chrome extension, you basically have it on here for free, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're a developer, like this is cracked. No, okay,
Yeah.
so not only do you have the app, like the app actually gives you a service, it's free, and there's the code base that you can use. And if you were thinking about making your own app like this, you can get this code base, fork it, and then do your own version of whatever you
Yeah.
want to do. It's like, oh, I want to take the Chrome extension because I want to know how he's grabbing the tweets. I want to do that,
Yeah.
but like I want to do my own thing, right? Like I want to have a voice assistant that just tells me about tweets, right?
Yeah.
I could take that and do that just alone, just like that alone is a product, right? I want to build a web app that does something else, and that's in this code base, and that's all part of this whole product launch. So definitely would recommend. So if you aren't familiar, just go to supermemory.ai, and then slash ph. I'm just gonna make this super big right here in the middle for the both of
Have
us.
you?
Yeah, right here. Boom. Like hit this link, supermemory
Oh
dot
my god, yeah,
AI.
slash PH.
Yeah, slash ph, and that'll actually take you right directly to this product hunt link, and that's where you're able to, or just go to product hunt because right now it's basically showing at the top. So we're actually, you're aiming for the number one spot, and I think you could do it today because we have more people who are
Yeah.
joining in on the stream right now, and definitely supporting you as well. So tell me a little bit about you. So how are you so cracked at, like, you're not even 21 yet, right?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Hey, that's bro. This is crazy. Like I can't go out to have a drink with you at a bar because like literally this is crazy. Yeah. So and then like how did you get into coding and like what's the like a little bit of back about you, the background? Yeah.
Yep. So I'm actually not cracked at coding yet. Um, first of all, and second of all, so how I got into coding is I was very lucky as a child to get an iPad for myself,
Mm.
and because I had that iPad, I would literally just play games and discover apps all day on that iPad, to the point where at some point I had like 800 or something apps downloaded on that thing, and that was like iPad 2 when it was just released, so it was almost all the popular apps, almost all the apps on the App Store. um so that kind of got me interested in technology
Mm.
then, but I was a consumer still, so I actually remember having this one Pinterest board. So I used Pinterest as my bookmarking tool back then, and I remember having like 2,000 or 3,000 things on there, and one day I woke up and there was nothing there, and I was like, shit dude, like I don't know what happened
Wow.
here, but like I don't know why they removed it. So um, and at the same time, I was also playing a lot of games. So I was a gamer at heart.
Mm.
I used to play a lot of GTA Vice City and Minecraft and stuff like that. And at some point, I was like, I also want to make my own Vice City. Like, why not? I can probably do it. And turns out it was not as easy as I thought because I could not do it. um,
Not a bad idea. As you
uh,
try.
yeah, at least I
Oh, I had
tried.
some comments
So,
streaming in. Which LLM does this use for Supermemory?
it uses GPT-4o Mini, but
Okay.
interestingly, the LLM doesn't matter a lot. So we switch the LLM randomly based on based on certain like things. So
Mm.
yeah, it is GPT-4o Mini mainly.
Okay. Nice. Excellent. Freaking awesome. Yeah. Hey, Hosna, how's it
Yeah.
going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, this is so cool to kind of go through the comments and stuff. What are you going to be building for the mobile app? Are you going to do React Native, Expo, or like
Yep,
what's your kind
that's
of?
right.
Okay.
React Native and Expo,
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
because
Wow.
our entire like stack is built with that.
Okay. Yeah. Great job. Yeah, hosting us is great job and stuff.
Thank
Yeah, this
you.
is cool. Yeah, I forgot I had to look to the side. And I was like, oh yeah, we have comments and reactions and stuff. Yeah, if anyone is watching on X right now, definitely would recommend the retweet and stuff like that if you haven't done so. And so what that does is just kind of gets it out to more people. Right now, we're basically on a challenge, and we appreciate, like, I think there's been like 4 people who've done the upvote for the super memory because we're trying to hit like number one today.
Yeah,
Is the contest end today? Is that what it is, or the for the
yeah.
product
It,
hunt?
it ends tonight at there's exactly 12 hours left, I would say.
Wow, that's excellent. Cool. Congrats on the success. Yeah, thanks, Brad. It's
Thank you.
so awesome. Yes, and then the Ruby says, "Congrats, Dravia." Yes, cool.
Thanks.
I was afraid to launching on my product. Oh,
Same here.
Ruby, are you building a product? That's cool. Yeah, it's so take us through like launching right now on Product Hunt because that's kind of you put it up and like it could be crickets, it could be whatever, right? So yeah, I think I saw that you were launching it today, and I didn't realize it's only like a 1 day thing. And I've been wanting to actually talk to you about this product and try it out live. And with us demoing it, it's been really fun to kind of play around with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
like as a builder, there are some people who are into building apps here. What was your decision process to kind of take us through, like wanting to actually put it on Product Hunt?
So honestly, Product Hunt has fallen off like crazy lately. An interesting fact, on that Product Hunt, there's been like 166 stars upwards or whatever. And very interestingly, we don't have 166 extra users yet. So I think Twitter is still the greatest marketing channel, but Product Hunt launches help in getting like kind of
Mm,
uh validation of sorts, like, hey, I was number one on Product Hunt on this day. And
interesting.
that validation is not only for yourself as a builder, but like
Hmm.
in general. And also it
Ah.
helps you get to new audiences, who might have questions, concerns that you might not have addressed. So it's instant feedback. Like if you see the comments actually have really really good feedback right now, which is
Mm,
pretty cool.
mm.
So I'll go through all those feedback and I'll ship all those features, and then I'll
Oh.
know that okay, now I have fixed this product for everyone who is currently using it at the very least.
Ah. Okay. So that's actually awesome that people try it out and then give you the feedback.
No, the
And
interesting thing is they don't try it out, but they give the feedback.
oh, they're just like your product sucks. I'm not launching a competitor. Mine's is better. Oh,
It's
launching
not
soon.
like
Oh,
that,
because
very
they are
honest.
also builders themselves. Got it. It's because this is launching soon. Oh, wow. This is
Most
really
of them are
interesting.
in good faith, honestly. Like all of the feedback is in good faith. It's nothing. No one
Yes.
has been like, I'm building a competitor and that is why I'm saying something. Everyone is like,
Okay.
does it have this, does it have that? And I'm like, okay, yes. And there's some things that I don't market, like, does it have YouTube support? I don't have
Hmm.
YouTube support yet. um
I see.
so stuff like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good idea slash good question. I think like YouTube, if you're able to get that, I have so many bookmarks there.
Yeah.
um, and I think there's also so I'm curious. Have you looked at different APIs? Because I think there's also some people who are wanting to build stuff, and the only thing I played around with was 12 Labs for video, but I don't think it's specifically for YouTube. It's just specifically for video content. To kind of scrub through and like get some additional details. Have you looked into any video providers or anything that can do interesting stuff?
So in order to import from YouTube, the only way is kind of scraping, which is bad. Scraping is bad, right? Because YouTube doesn't want you to do it.
Mm,
Twitter is fine with you doing it because there's not enough API calls for it to even look like there's something fishy going on.
mm,
So it's fine. Like it's
mm.
like scrolling through a bookmarks list. It's just as much API requests as that. Um,
Got it.
so, coming back to YouTube, in order for me to import all your YouTube videos that you have saved, I'll have to actually download every video. I have to send it to a transcriber. I have to get the transcripts, and then I have to vectorize it. So that entire
Wow.
process will not only it won't be that expensive, but I wonder how much value that brings. For the UX will not be as good. It'll take a lot of time, and yeah, in general it won't be the super memory has like really really good everything right now. It's pretty fast, it's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to like fit that into the current working, so I have to fix those engineering problems before I add that support.
Mm, okay. Yeah, no, that's perfectly valid. For folks who like are walking through this process, and then like I really just kind of like hearing your thinking about how you're thinking about this products and stuff. And for me, like I feel like the bigger value add for me is just like more focused on my X bookmarks, right? So,
Yeah,
like the more I can interact with those, especially on mobile, like because I'm always on mobile, and if I'm flicking through
yeah.
and it's like I can organize my mind or tag them differently, and so I mean I'll even show you some of my use cases. Maybe we'll do this live.
Please do.
um,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but I think this is really important for those who are building. Just to kind of take the spotlight for a second. If you're building any products, it's so important to reach out to your users and ask them for feedback. And if you're able to get any type of feedback, like literally just like watching them use the product, like that is incredibly valuable because then you can see like any assumptions you made about design are just thrown out the window. Like they're going to
Yeah.
tell you like how they walk through the problem or like what problem they're trying to solve in their head. and I think that's just phenomenal. Like you
Yeah,
can.
and even like the smallest things, like just seeing you trying to use the app, I so I'm very happy with how you just found out everything, that oh, this is the import all Twitter bookmarks button, and you clicked on that. It was pretty smooth for you. But before this, like before this entire version, I was on a call with my mom and I was explaining to her, and my mom just could not like she could not use the product, and there's a lot of things to improve in the existing version to like fix that for my mom. So like that's what
Mm.
I'll be doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes putting post hog to the product is pretty useful. Yeah, so for those who aren't familiar, there's some analytics that are available. Post hog is one of them. I think there's also one I'm using, this highlight.io, that can kind of grab some of that type of analytic data to help you just kind of see what's going on. Um, and then oh, Ruby launching on Tuesday.
Oh.
Tuesday's basically where a big player comes to play. You could get more of vote the average day, but it's possible that your product rank is number one from the bottom.
Yeah, that's so fun fact. I launched LMFA.tech on my birthday, August 16 last year, which was a Tuesday, and I got like sixth or fifth or sixth rank, which was crazy because the same day WorkOS and a huge apps launched, and I was like, damn man, like
Is Tuesday like a unofficial like launch day for some of the bigger funded companies or something? Or
yeah, because it makes sense. No one will launch on Friday. No one wants to launch on the weekends because then they
mm.
cannot make the quick fixes. So Tuesday just makes sense to be a good day to launch because it's Monday night and then Tuesday the entire day. So that's why.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. And for those who are just joining in, definitely support this project, supermemory.ai/ph, or just go to Product Hunt and give an upvote because we're trying to
Yep.
aim for that number one spot. So we're kind of slowly staying up here on number three, but aiming for that number one spot for sure. As
Yep.
Supermemory, for those who aren't familiar, is just basically going to be like my second brain now. The fact that I can just ask a question about my bookmarks is so cool. And it looks like you're just actively developing this product, and it's free,
Yep.
literally free. It's just,
Yep. And
and
the
if
mobile, actually, the
yeah,
current version of Super Memory works very well on the mobile. Like this is how it
let's
looks.
go. Hold on, let me look at your single
So
screen. Let's wow.
yeah, it's actually amazing. It
What?
feels pretty native. It's a web app.
It's a oh, so if I pop this on my phone, I should be able to get this.
Yeah,
Let's go. Of
it'll
course.
work perfectly. Like everything is
Okay, so question then. I worked at Apple, working on iOS, and so like the native OS experience is really smooth and buttery. The web
mhm.
has come a very long way since I worked,
Yeah,
at Apple from 2010. I just saw you scrolling, and that's a web view, right? Like literally a
yeah,
website, like, and it's like smoothly loading. Like there's no
yeah,
hiccups because I remember like React when it first came out, and then like I think Facebook, right? Like, and these different apps they were adopting. Oh, Facebook I think kind of came up with it, but like for the implementation, like in the I think Instagram and these other app providers, and like everything was kind of like animations weren't really
yeah.
you would touch it, you kind of wait or it would kind of stumble. Where like on iOS you can kind of drag and do some smooth buttery stuff, but it looks like
Right.
it's fixed now. I haven't touched. I'm just kind of exploring the
I
web,
wouldn't say
web
so.
development now. Okay.
There's still a long way to go, and that's the reason we are actually making the iOS app because
Mm,
like my bar for super memory is really high right now. So I want to keep
I see.
everything the perfect, amazing quality. Everything should be as good as it gets, which is what you get with super memory. So yeah.
That's cool. Definitely appreciate the upvotes. We're now at 172, so we're
Oh
we're
hell
gunning for that
yes.
number one spot. Definitely, yeah. This is so cool. We appreciate the support. And for those who aren't aware, definitely hit the retweet button. We want to get this message out to as many people as possible today, because the contest ends today, and so you just have to go to
Yeah.
supermemory.ai/ph or just go to producthunt.com, hit that upvote, check it out, and yeah, because like this is the way that I organize my bookmarks is like I have a lot of my bookmarks. Some people don't even have this many like folders, but I think because I'm a premium user, you're allowed to have folders and stuff. I literally have like stuff in Swift UI code organized like this, like code that I see that's like, oh, this is really cool. And right now I'm really into animation. So I'm like literally having this exploration of like I have bookmarks of Swift UI animations. And so
Yeah.
like I'm literally going through it's like like so and the way that I use this is kind of like in a designer sense. It's like, okay, I'm going to clip that, I'm going to clip that, I'm going to clip that and kind of keep it around. And I'd love to just be able to have my categories like this that I have predefined. Um, like I could say, hey, I want a Next.js category, and then the app itself, Supermemory, would just start as I bookmark
Yes.
things, automatically categorizing them, so I could just kind of scroll through them, and
Yes.
then
That
yeah,
is
because
coming.
okay,
I can add that. Okay, that is coming today.
that's going
100%.
to let's go, yeah, because like literally, this is how I. This is funny because I saw this on Twitter. It was like a toggle for Bluetooth for you can actually how like dark mode people have dark mode. You can actually do a toggle for blue screen of
Right.
death on your own site. It's like that was really clever. But yeah, this is the why I love Twitter like bookmarks or X bookmarks and stuff because it's like I go through these different ideas.
The
Red team
problem
was
with that is like you make these collections, but
right.
then every time you save new things, you have to select something, and if it
Yes.
doesn't fall in, you have to create a new collection, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's a decision fatigue of where you want to add it. So this is
Yes.
also how my Twitter bookmark list looked like. And then I
Yes.
just imported all of them to super memory and I deleted all my Twitter bookmarks because I trust in my app so much. So yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. That's so cool. That's the face. Yo. Yeah, X is really funny. So, for those who aren't aware, Supermemory is also open source. So that means you can go to the repo right now, just go Supermemory and go and download it and play around with it, and you can self-host it if you wanted to. So if you weren't sure what's happening, and this is all done on the Cloudflare backend. So
Yeah.
literally doing it from like the document store to the workers to like all these different components. So these are components that are available to you if you use Cloudflare, right? I'm not very familiar with Cloudflare, but
Yeah.
as I'm learning from you, you really make me want to kind of go all in. And because like not only you get looks like you get databases, you get browser rendering, you get AI stuff like for vector generation,
Yeah.
and the cost is so low. How do they do that? Like
Because they own the hardware. Simple.
okay, because it's not going to like Amazon Web Services or anything. It's literally
Yeah.
just going to their. Oh wow! And so, walk me through like whenever I adopt something new, like an authentication provider or something like that. There is some type of like learning curve. And so with you, when you're starting out like with web development and then you made some apps and stuff for a little while, like what's the next learning curve for like adopting Cloudflare and like or any good resources that you would recommend to kind of get started or any videos that kind of helped you go from 0 to 1?
Um, so the number one thing I would ask you to do is run this command npx create Cloudflare. Just run it, and it'll ask you to select between a lot of things. So you can actually select. Let's say you like writing in Python, you can write a Python worker. Let's say you like you write code in Next.js, you can do that. Or just plain React, Vite, whatever you want. And once it initializes, you just read through the entire initial thing, and it's always just very bare bones of what you have, and just one extra
Ah,
file called wrangler.toml, wrangler.toml. And
wow.
in that, no, I did not. I just
Ah,
did
so
it all bare bones.
no LangChain library, just straight up, just sauce.
Yes. The only thing that we do use is the Vercel AI SDK,
Uh-huh.
um, because it helps us, create a good abstraction layer for all the AI providers, which is very important.
Okay, okay. That makes more sense. Like because the AI SDK, you could just type in the model names and they just load
Yeah.
right in, and then the responses and a lot of work is already done from the AI SDK side to load that in.
Yeah.
And then how do you connect that then to the Cloudflare stuff, the workers? Do you just
No,
kind of
there's nothing to connect. The workers is basically just an endpoint. You can write any code in there, it'll just work. The Vercel AI is
Oh,
not Vercel specific. It's just an SDK that you can use with any provider with any framework, and it should work.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Let's go. That's awesome. Are you using OpenAI Memory API for any memory aspect? No, my friend.
If I would do
Cloud
that, that would be the most expensive thing in the world.
let's talk about that actually. Are you so like tell me more about this. Like let's kind of walk through because there are people right now who are trying to figure out this exact problem that you are solved, have solved, and have open sourced, and have provided for free, and make sure you upvote on Product Hunt if you haven't done so because we're trying to go for the
Oh
number one
wow,
spot.
that's a lot.
Yeah,
Nice.
170. Yeah. So walk us through like this memory thing that people are trying to use because other people are trying to build their apps, and I think OpenAI is trying to make it as easy as possible. Like, hey, just put your memory in here. We got you. Just pay us a bunch of money.
Yeah.
um, yeah.
So the OpenAI memory API, so all memory essentially works by breaking down a piece of content into small chunks and then putting those chunks in like a vector database that you can query later. So
Hmm.
the vector database is basically a type of database where um, huge lists of numbers. The list of numbers is basically a string that is represented as a list of numbers, and there's a bunch of list of numbers saved in that vector database. And then when you have a query, there's a cosine similarity search that is done to get the 20 most closest numbers next to it, and then those numbers are converted back into string to like give it to the user. So that's what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, so to explain to a fifth grader, because I've actually been going through this process of learning how to code GPT-2 from scratch. And so I've asked the language model, how do you explain like the concept of vectors and tokens and everything? And so the way that they explain this is, imagine having like a vector as like a backpack, and the backpack has all these pockets, and those pockets are like those relationships that kind of describe
Hmm.
all these other things. So when you have a token, each token will have its little backpacks that are associated with it, and so the
Hmm.
backpacks are kind of teamed up for the token, and so like as you are kind of like searching through the space, in essence, you're basically just kind of grabbing these backpacks, and each of these backpacks in the little pockets have all these things and information that kind of keep expanding out to tell you kind of where things could be related or where things can go. And so it's just kind of like you can kind of almost think about it like a different way of mapping meaning to things and getting these different concepts down into like a space that's like really accessible from a computer because it likes to crunch numbers. And so for like the vector database, like you're describing, this is something that Cloudflare can pull up on, and pull right into and have
A
accessible
workflow.
through, yeah,
Yeah.
like a worker here. So, and the way that the worker is exposed, if we kind of walk through it. So as a user, we were talking about, I added my bookmarks and stuff. And basically when I'm interacting with the web page, I go through the Next.js thing, and there's like a little, document store action, and then that gets, the add commands gets added into the worker, and the worker is the one that's determining like what needs to happen process wise. So you can say in your app logic, you're saying, hey, I'm going to go vectorize this, which means like doing that backpack analogy, and then there's like a key vector store for like an ID that you're going to probably pull back out later on. And then there are probably like, it looks like queues and workers and things. So later on, when we're interacting with apps, like, hey, tell me about XYZ, you're basically doing a query to the API to some worker and then pulling out additional context. And that's kind of what we're
Yeah.
seeing when it's loading. It's like going to go talk to those workers using the vector database that is all a part of Cloudflare. And it's basically nearly free,
Yeah.
which is kind of just absolute bonkers because OpenAI charges quite a bit of money for that, and you're able to kind of get away with that. And not only, I mean, this is kind of what's blowing my mind is it's open source, and you can just like take this right now, go to like just type in Supermemory on GitHub, and you're set. And then while you're there, upvote it on Product Hunt because we're trying to get that
Yes.
spot,
Please
right?
do. Um,
Bonkers, bonkers. Wow.
One more thing, Wonker. So you know how we do content extraction
Hmm.
from other websites is using
Yeah.
another open source project that I made before. It's called Markdowner. You might have seen it before.
Oh yes, I've heard you talk about it. Mark Downer. Mark
Yeah.
Downer.
There you go.
Yeah,
Not
Dravia
the
here.
first one. Yeah.
Oh, Okay, whoa, okay, this is cracked, my friends. Like this is super alpha. If you're watching this, you're getting major alpha if you're a builder of AI apps. Because like that's why Dravia is cracked. That's why we have him on the show right now. Is because like as we talk, we're just gonna keep unfolding these presents for you. So if you aren't aware, Markdowner, right? So you can type in a website or
Yeah,
even a curl command, and it's gonna pull down the stuff into Markdown.
yeah.
Let's go. Let's
And
go.
that's cool because Markdown, and that's one of the reasons why the querying from Supermemory is so good because it's actually the weights chunk, the weights embedded, all of that matters a lot to keep the costs low, to make sure that uh, the AI is getting good content to see and to vectorize, and all of those things are very important. So this helps
Wow.
throughout the chain. This is what's helping a lot.
That is amazing. So behind the scenes, that's basically what's happening. I think I DDoS your website.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
I
Oh, it's
think
working.
so. I just published one more like thing,
Hmm.
an update on the GitHub maybe. So I just
Oh, I
added
see.
like authentication on the Markdowner because I
Oh.
wanted to make sure that the product and launch goes through very well. So it requires an API key right now, which is
Oh, okay,
kind of
okay.
fun.
That
But it
that
is
makes more.
open source on github.com/Dravya/Markdowner for yourself to
Mhm.
host.
Got it.
I was
Oh, right here.
actually getting I was actually getting 200,000 requests a day on the thing because multiple people were using it to like
Yeah,
train
for their
models,
app.
and then one day there were like 2 million requests a day. So
Whoa.
I was like, okay, nice.
Whoa. Yeah, this is cracked. This absolute cracked. And this is also Cloudflare. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Okay. I think after tonight, I'm gonna just start going in on Cloudflare because this
And you
is
know what's cool? Both of these projects, Supermemory and Markdowner, they run off of the same $5. So it's not $10; it's $5 only. So
wow. Okay, so for those who aren't aware, we went through a little bit of the product architecture for how Supermemory works, and it when you can give it like bookmarks from Twitter via Chrome extension, it like sucks those in from your Twitter account, and then does its embeddings and all the cool stuff, and it's like probably using it looks like it's using Markdowner to kind of build some information type of thing from the bookmarks there, and then or any type of web. Oh, okay. So when I go into Markdown, when I go into your product Supermemory, on Supermemory itself, supermemory.ai, visit, yes. In here, when I go to like a memory or like
hmm,
various things like a URL, that's basically like if I click this from 8 sleep or something like that,
hmm.
I
So
should
this
be
is,
able to give
yeah.
this URL and it should do stuff, I think.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, this is what it's converting. I should actually put make Markdown a back to being public and not have so many you know I'm actually streaming my code on my account right now to delete a
Ah,
piece of code and
okay. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So, and like with super memory, for those who don't know, like it's for me, it looks like it's just one way that I can get all my Twitter bookmarks in and save them. So like,
yeah,
what's kind of cool about this, like if Twitter blows up tomorrow, of course my webcam pops away, and it's trying to come back on. If Twitter goes away tomorrow, you now will have all your bookmarks saved in one spot.
yeah,
And so now, like, and look how smooth it is. Like, this is all of my bookmarks ever, like, that I've ever made, even like the most recent ones. Oh man, this is so crazy. This is amazing. This is really cool. So Chloe's doing some really cool design stuff. But yes, yeah. The
Markdown
next,
works now.
what's that?
Markdown works, so
Oh,
you
cool,
can use it.
nice. I'm gonna see if I can do convert to Markdown. So yeah, so Markdowner was another one of Dravia's projects, and Dravia is not even 21, like barely turned 18, and is basically just has been building apps. It's a really cool story, and has just kind of like had a problem with some of his apps because it was getting too much traffic, and even
Yeah,
DDoS, and then it's come to the point where like exploring Cloudflare, using the workers and various things, and it's just kind of opening things up. And to me, I learned by doing and also by like using code and stuff. And I love that you have open sourced all of these projects. So not only have you open sourced Markdowner so that you can go get stuff and feed that into an LLM, but you've just open sourced your recent project as well, Supermemory. And Supermemory basically includes a Chrome extension. So you can go in there and figure out how Chrome extension really works and ship your own version of a Chrome extension literally by forking
Yeah.
it, right? And
You
then
know what's
adding
cool
additional
about the Chrome
features.
extension? One more cool thing
Mm-hmm.
is we are actually using a shadow DOM. So a shadow DOM is essentially a way to um, put your extension code in a box so that it doesn't interfere with the code on the website itself, which is really
Wow.
helpful because a lot of extensions, if you see, they actually change the CSS of the website unknowingly. On some websites, it
Yes.
messes it up or changes some network or something stops working, and then you're like, oh, it was a Chrome extension. So that won't happen with the way this is built.
Wow. That's awesome. That is so awesome. And I can ask it a question and it looks like it has a cache of my question and reloads the website back up based
It's
off
not
my
even cache. That part is not cache. It's just a
oh
database lookup, and it's pretty
oh
fast.
it's a chat like okay. Ah, okay. That is so cool. And then you can ask stuff like, tell me about design, and it searches all of your memory stuff about designs, even gives you like recent tweets that you've bookmarked about design related things. If there was like a specific concept that maybe I wanted to look up on a tweet, on something like, like oil price or something like that. Like this is specific to my memory, so I'm asking that, and it's going through my like Twitter bookmarks basically, and then pulling up very specific things that have happened recently. And so some ways one of the reasons why I use X/Twitter is to kind of keep up on the latest AI news. And so
Hmm.
I just bookmark a lot of things because like, oh, I want to talk about that this coming week on my show, or I want to talk
Hmm.
about design. And so I could just probably say, hey, what's the latest on design? Or like in this case, I just said oil prices. So it's going to
Hmm.
basically pull up the most recent tweets that have probably happened related to oil prices, and I could figure out, oh, hey, like, yeah, that's right. This is what's kind of going on right now. Like this is like a reason of why it hit so low, and kind of like the various analysis. And there's certain people I follow who are just cracked, and like I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I bookmarked this because I'll reference this for later for the right time. And so this just kind of allows me to do that. So it looks like not only does this work this way, but I should also be able to use this on a mobile device like this on a mobile
Yeah.
screen, and then kind of have look at that. That's nice. Let's go. Beautiful, man. Wow. So this is super memory. And for those who haven't done so, make sure you go to producthunt.com and do the upvoting because
Yes. Very
he's
important.
yeah, trying to shoot for that number one. So you're pretty close to already grabbing that number two spot. So if you haven't
Yeah.
done so, producthunt.com, our super memory AI/ph. Definitely try out super memory. It's free. Free. FREE.
I
Yeah,
should
that's so
tweet it
cool.
right now.
Yeah. So
Um,
Brad says, what vector database do you use?
Vectorize. Cloudflare vectorize.
So Cloudflare has a vectorized thing. So that is that also detailed on the GitHub as well?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So for those checking out the super, just type in like super memory on in GitHub.
Okay, I'm
Let's
tweeting this.
go. Let's go. This is so good. Um, and then GD says, how can I ensure all necessary chunks are retrieved from the database to avoid missing crucial information in my responses?
So that's just a chunking strategy thing. So how I do is the biggest problem that happens is when two chunks are broken down. Like one huge sentence, you don't want one huge sentence to be broken down into two different chunks. So our chunker, it's actually a file called chonker. We like calling it chonker. So chonker basically uses like natural language processing, NLP, to make sure that no sentence is cut up in half or something.
Mm,
And that's just a step one. There's a lot of other things that go into it, like your the top k matters a lot, because the top k gets a chunk id, and that's how it happens. So
mm.
how many chunks are matched depends on that. So yeah, that's just some of the things that you need to keep in mind.
That's so cool. This is basically turning into a little bit of a masterclass on building AI apps. Why don't we kind of talk a little bit about that? Because you had to do a lot of considerations for building this stuff, and some of my
Yes.
audience are trying to build their own AI apps, And I feel like sharing any type of information is super helpful for them to help with their projects. And like, you've
Yeah,
open sourced it. And it'll take a little while to kind of read through the code and try to understand. But like, yeah, like I think that's a big problem right now in retrieval augmented generation, what people describe shortly as RAG. And so
yeah,
in this case, that's kind of what you're doing. You're storing all this information and then you're retrieving it like in real time to try to pull
yeah,
that in. And so you mentioned a couple of things like top K, and like all these other types of terms that basically help aid in trying to get the information to be relevant to the user. So tell me about like what you first kind of started running into as far as like what didn't work, and then maybe what stuff started to work for you for this specific use case.
yeah. And I'll also say what doesn't work right now that we are fixing in the next update, the big update that will be there. Okay, so um, when we first launched Supermemory, the number one thing was the retrieval sucked, because it turns out if you just put dump in a bunch of content and then if you query it, it doesn't really work that way. You have to think a lot about, the very minor details of a vector DB, like the amount of dimensions you put is also very important.
Mm.
Um, and then what embedding model you use also is important, because the embeddings match should be exactly when you use the queries. So the embedding model used to embed the query should be the same as a one to actually embed the content.
And so
That
you
might
mean
take
like
very
if you're
obvious.
using OpenAI's embeddings, you should use the OpenAI API to do the queries too, or something, or the
No, because basically when you actually run a query, you also have to
mhm.
embed the query itself before
Okay.
doing the vector search. So a lot of
Ah.
people, um, a lot of people try to use a cheaper model there,
Mm.
which is really bad, because then yes, you'll have a lot of queries. Yes, you'll have a cheaper model, but your retrieval will basically be really bad. So
Mm.
that's one thing that you really should know about.
Okay. Wow, that's a really good tip and then some good stuff from experience because people find out too late and it's just like, oh yeah, just changing that one thing kind of changes it and stuff.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's interesting. And I also take me through the like this embedding process, right? So the way that things are chunked and the how you retrieve them back out, also seems to make a difference, right? Like how much you're chunking and how much you're trying to read out, and then like context length for some of these models, right, are kind of limited depending on what model you're using, right? So I think you said you're using GPT 4.0 or 4.0 mini. Is it which one?
For many.
Okay. How would you go about like I don't know if you're doing this yet or not, or thinking about it, like benchmarking or trying to better understand like what is the request, whether it's successful or not, because user data is going to be like very abstracted and very personal, right? Like me searching for this specific thing in oil,
Yep.
you don't know about it, so how are you going to like make a better search, right?
Yep. And I'll tell you very interesting stuff about that too. So, um, so when you add a content, it's a normal. We chunk it down in the same way I said. It's an NLP based chunker. It takes the sentences and makes sure that no sentence is cut in half, and then it just puts it in a vector database. The interesting thing that we had to solve is vectorize right now only has equal to and not equal to metadata filtering. So when we add metadata,
Ah.
and one more thing we really wanted to do was, uh, if you and I saved the same website through the
Mhm.
app. So if a website saved through the app means that both of us will have the same content seen. There will be nothing private, right? Because it's a public
Mhm.
website at that point. So
Yeah.
that should be a shared vector. That should
Ah.
not duplicate. So there should be some deduplication strategy there, and we
Mm.
have that right now. So how it works is, um, the URL is, we use like a hashing mechanism to hash the URL into a 63 byte like ID basically, and that
Mhm.
ID is used as the ID for the content in the vectorized database. And
Mm.
um, then whenever a new user comes in and saves it, instead of creating a new one, we just look up that hash if the hash exists. we will add the user to the vector. um,
I
like
see.
and even that is like kind of complicated to do, so we
Hmm.
add a user, and then if they have any spaces, we add the spaces. um,
I
but
see.
that gets complicated because you might have saved my Dravia.dev website to a different space, and I would
Hmm.
have saved it to a different one, and I don't want to know who what spaces you are in and stuff like that. So we
Right.
had to figure out all of that, and that's actually there right now. uh,
Mm.
Pretty cool stuff. And then while retrieving, we get the top 20, right? But usually the top 20 are like not useful enough. They are
Mm.
pretty bad. Like the
Mm.
bottom ones especially are pretty bad. But how do you know what's in the bottom? Like, sure, you can have like the initial approach, the naive approach was, let's have like a limit above which everything is contextually relevant, and below which everything is not relevant. And that's kind of bad, because when you try to query stuff that is like barely relevant, like if you say, I live in a building, and then you say, hey, I think I live in a hut, the model should tell you, oh, you live in a building. Because but that kind of retrieval is really hard to make right now. um, and because the scoring will be really low, so we actually normalize the score. We take the score, and we make it like from 100, 0 to 100 basically, and then we cut it off at 50. So if the lowest score was 5 and the highest score was 45, then that will be like stretched out to 0 to 100, and then that's how we cut it off. Essentially we are taking an average, but it's like better than an average because we have a threshold, we have a better threshold to go with. So that's how. So once you query, it's the query is converted into vector embeddings, the vector search happens. We normalize the scores, we make a new list of the new normalized scores. Wow, amazing, hell yeah.
Yes, thank you. Recently, somebody just gave a upvote, so we definitely appreciate that. It's so cool. We see it kind of in real time.
Yes.
We need
um
to make some sound effects. Do you have some sort of evaluation pipeline to check if your new strategies are good?
and my only evaluation pipeline right now is vibes, honestly.
Vibes, yeah, vibes, bro. Yeah, that's an interesting one because literally, is it yourself and another co-founder, right, that are doing this?
No, right now I'm alone. The other co-founder had like other things to do, so
Hmm.
I have a team, which is pretty cool,
That's
and I'm a
amazing.
solo founder.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. So everything's we're doing vibes right now, and I think the goal is to work towards standard evaluations and so forth. But I don't know, like we should probably talk about timelines because I feel like sometimes it's really especially in project planning, like you want to do a lot of everything all at once, and the problem is that like if you focus on the wrong thing, you may not launch, or if you launch, then it
Exactly,
may not hit very well. And the you learn very quickly if your users are screaming at you and saying, "Hey, add this thing," and that can help
exactly,
because you're serving them, right? And so
exactly.
I think as a product maybe matures, getting these additional validations that can help. Like you're working on these problems in parallel, and but you only have so many hours in the day to focus. And so the question always becomes
Yeah,
like, what is it that you're actually going to focus on, and kind of like how are you going to do that better and so forth. So no, all very valid questions and all very like valid things to help with like all these types of things. So yeah, we're right now the goal is to like Dravia has just provided like a ton of alpha for those who are just joining in, and we're talking about Supermemory. And so Supermemory as an app is basically like a second brain for things that you find on the internet, your Twitter bookmarks, and you could just literally just type stuff in, and it saves it, and it's available for you, to be able to be accessed at any time. So you can search at any time what you were doing, and like when am I doing a live stream, and boom, it tells me 8 a.m. with friends, and you could even talk about the note that you recently had, and it's all there available for free. Now we've caused a DDoS,
no,
and
it's
so I
not,
think
it's a 404. I'm not sure why that happened.
okay.
So because the
Oh,
slash note doesn't exist, so the
okay.
breadcrumbs is broken. That's why.
Ah, okay, okay. We're finding
the
bugs in real
the
time.
the infrastructure is so scalable. Um, the infrastructure is so scalable that even if I do have like 100,000 people using it right now, it will just work.
That's
So that's not a
amazing.
problem.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
what they
sure what's
call
going on with
this,
my.
yeah, what they call this in like the food world is organic. So you're like an organic.
Yeah,
We're going through this organically. As you know, this like being solo founder is kind of hard. And then when you start to work with people and teams and things, as this going on. So Dravia is working through some connection stuff with the camera, and I'm working through some stuff on my end to try to see if we can get the
yeah, I'm
camera
not sure
all
why
settled
that is
there.
happening.
Yeah. But yeah, and for those who are just joining in, definitely would recommend you go check out, supermemory.ai right there up above on this little thing here. And then what's great about it is that the app is actually free, so you can sign up for free right now, and it doesn't cost you anything. And so you can use it. And if you're curious about like the project, it's actually open source, so you can go check the code out on GitHub and see for yourself, like, hey, how's the data being stored? What's going on? I have some issues. I want to make a new issue or something like that. And then what we were doing just earlier is just talking about how the product is made, some of the things that Dravia has learned making this stuff with like vector databases and retrieval augmented generation, aka RAG, and like some of the things that people can probably improve upon there. To use like open model to not use an open model, that is the question. Also like Cloudflare workers, you can actually, this is basically for me is a masterclass on how to like deploy your own app that has a Chrome extension, that has a front end, that has a back end using Cloudflare. And then like how to keep the cost extremely low. I mean, the monthly maintenance cost is less than $5 a month, and like this is all deployable on Cloudflare, and like the dude is like not even 21, so I can't even take him out for a drink and like talk more about this. So like, and the fact that like this is not even costing him the cost of a drink at a bar, like to run every month, is
Yeah,
really quite incredible, and it's a big, um, kind of like a big light in the sky to say, hey, you can do this too if you're a builder. And if you want to try to code the stuff yourself. And so to that end, I mean, as a thank you, I would definitely recommend going to check out the product hunt. So just go to producthunt.com. His is listed, it's currently number 3, trying to get it up to that number 1 spot right now,
yeah. Literally,
with
just go to
100.
producthunt.com now. Like it'll show up. So
Yeah, producthunt.com. No, yeah, it's like you're at the top right now, like as far as the top 3, and not that far away from number 2 to take that over, and then trying to aim for that number 1 spot. So if you know a
yeah,
friend right now, definitely, I would also retweet this as well, because we're trying to get this out right now. So because we're trying to get that like number 1 on Product Hunt, and so I
yeah,
say, why not support your good friends, support organic growth, support good founders and good people, because we're out here building. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the stream. What's been really nice is the fact that we've been able to feature some of these comments. So this is a really smart retrieval process. Yeah, thanks, Yuri. This is awesome. Yes. Yes, and I appreciate everyone tuning in from all parts of the world. Literally, from like all the way to um, like from Instagram or wherever you're at. Also rebroadcasting on X and on YouTube,
yeah,
and those following along also on Twitch as well. This is really really cool. So yeah, I think let's see, we're at 185 votes, and I think when we started the stream was like 100 and was it 60 or 30 or something? I don't remember. Yeah. So no, this has been phenomenal. I don't know. Like, let's see. Do you have any other thoughts to share?
um, yeah. That's it. I was just
That's it.
replying to some. I was just tweeting about like, oh, just go to product hunt now. Like, no need to use the URL.
Yeah, I'm kind of behind on my tweets. Let's see what's going on. Oh, okay, cool. We're live. Nice. So good to know
Nice.
it's working. Yes. So for those folks who are just tuning in, make sure you retweet, because this can get it out to more people, which is great. And then let's see. How to meet scheduled with you is definitely better and knowledgeable. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I don't know if people were actually like, it looks like somebody actually had a meeting with you, and you're just like, yeah, I'm busy, bro, because we're online.
No, no, no.
Oh,
Oh, oh yes. I mean, damn it. So I had like a bunch of meets today. I have one more in 45 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm trying to talk to users and see like what they think about it, which is cool.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. So yeah, I actually originally said that this was going to be 30 minutes, and we're like at hour 15 minutes. So yeah, apologies if we kind of took over your Google Meet, and hopefully you guys can connect later. But hopefully folks have also been finding this very useful for us to kind of just talk about the products. And so my name is Ray Fernando. I used to be an engineer at Apple for 12 years plus. And now I'm currently on my own, kind of exploring AI, trying this podcasting thing, trying this video stuff, live stream, just trying everything out and trying to share my knowledge and connect you with other people who are like doing and cool stuff in our community. And Dravia came across my radar, and I'm just really happy to have met you, and like you've learned so much already, and the fact that you're building these products to kind of like exercise your knowledge is really amazing. It's super inspirational. But not only that, taking the additional step to like open source it and then teach other people like what through the code how they can do it themselves is super super awesome. And I huge like give it up to that, because I think that that's really inspirational for such a young individual and young human being to show your maturity this way. And there's people that are older like me who want to know what's kind of happening right now in this world. I've basically left the corporate world and now kind of doing this stuff independently. So just reading your code, playing around with the app, using it for free, all extremely helpful. And there are people who pay tens of thousands of dollars or more for like 15 minutes of someone's time, or like a master class, and they don't even get a third of this type of information, and you're providing this for free. And as part of the community and stuff, like huge applause. And I'm super deeply thankful that you're able to come on to the live stream, and kind of share some of this stuff, because I think it's really amazing. It's really
Yep,
really
everyone
cool.
on my on the live stream, my live stream, there's 151 people here and 115 people here. Thanks
Yes.
for joining. And I know that the video quality is not the best in my live stream, but it's still pretty good, and we pulled it off, which is cool.
Yeah, it's
quickly,
cool.
quickly.
And we're live also on at Ray Fernando 1337, and I have the YouTube stream going. So if you want to rewatch it later on, if you missed some of the earlier parts, I'll have it available on my YouTube channel at Ray Fernando 1337. So you can go ahead and watch it there. I'll post a link as well so that maybe Dravia can retweet it, and
Yep.
some of your audience are there can watch it, and you'll have some crispy high def quality with some good camera angles. Got the good lighting as well. We're doing it real, like really real here, because I'll kind of give you a preview of my little studio. I have this light here. I have this other light over here. This is in my little like house, and like the couch and
That's an
stuff. Just
amazing house, I must say.
yeah, so this is how we do it. I got the audio, and this year I got this type of mic, and it's just taking this stuff really seriously, because this is what we love to do, and find other people like this. So thank you very much. If you haven't had a chance, definitely check out supermemory.ai, and then make sure you go to producthunt.com as well to do the upvoting there, because Dravia is trying to get that number one spot. And if you can help
Yes.
him do that today, this needs to be done before the end of the day, and definitely appreciate that. So shout out
Yeah, it
to
takes 2 minutes, so like just go ahead and do it.
yes, go ahead. If you're online, that'll help us out tremendously. Dravia, thank you so much for joining on the show, and taking this time. And apologies to the other person that we stepped over on the Google Meet. Hopefully, you're able to get some value. And to that end, I think we're gonna say, catch y'all later.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye.